know when you might make the decision?
We've got it on the agenda for later on in the meeting.
Okay.
So, we'll talk about it.
All right. No other questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Good seeing you.
Anybody like the map?
Nice.
You guys know, do you want it?
Oh,
For
I've
future
got one.
meetings or-
I've already got one.
Yeah.
We got the smaller version of it.
yeah, we do.
All right.
Thank you for
We'll bring
bringing it.
Thank you.
So we were gonna have Brent with BSN Security come, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it last minute, so, we will go ahead and move forward with.
Yep. Let's go on and, we have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting with one stipulation for one question.
Okay.
Question first or second first?
Well, what's that, what, do I have a second?
Because,
I'll second that.
all right, the, under unfinished business, we have a 3-2 vote for the tree trimming package, and there was 5 of us at the meeting. Was it 3-2 or 4-1?
It was 3-2.
3-2. Who were the two? I was one.
The two were Larry and Gary.
So not to it.
We did not do it correctly. Okay. Do we have any questions or comments regarding the minutes from the previous meeting?
I have a question on the mailbox painting. What is the issue on EPA not approving? What is that all about?
Yeah, so we
They
met
don't paint
with,
anything, do
we met with the postmaster for the city of Chandler
Yeah.
regarding the painting of the bases
Yeah.
and the structures. And they told us we're not allowed to do that for EPA regulations.
they? So who's gonna do it?
They'll
Nobody.
replace them, the ones that are deemed necessary.
I went through and I took photos of every cluster box and created a spreadsheet and provided it to the postmaster. Based on my findings, I recommended which ones I thought were in the worst condition, just based on physical appearance. And we're gonna take it through and see if we can get some replacements, and if it works out, awesome. But
Until when?
unfortunately, we're not allowed to paint them, so.
Okay.
Pretty much stuck with it.
Do we have, can we carry the motion on the previous minutes?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, we could have a motion to accept the financials from last month.
I'll make a motion to accept the financials.
Second? I'll second it. Discussion?
Any comments regarding the financials for November for the community? All right. You guys want to go through and, you guys want to carry the motion?
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right.
Give you a second.
Okay, so for the previous month, I went out and I actually purchased 5 volleyball nets for Emmett Park. One of them is up, and we have the 4 others in storage. So we do have those on hand for the vandalism that we've had. So one goes away, we'll be able to get it up pretty quick. I did go out and solicit some proposals for some motion sensor light installation on the pole there for the meeting last meeting. I also met with Brent from BSN Security about surveillance system for the area. Brent was going to come, but he couldn't make it tonight. He said he was willing to come next meeting. But we do have a proposal in here that we'll discuss later on. I have started going out to playground companies. In Emmett Park, there's a bench out there that's got a piece chunked out, and it could be a potential risk for people in the area. So reached out to 3 playground companies. I'm just awaiting those. So I didn't include those in this packet just yet, but they will be in next month's packet for a replacement seat for those. Going through, just doing compliance for the community. We've had a couple of issues with compliance-wise, but we're getting that stuff all cleared up. Going through it. Yeah, so last meeting we had talked about putting out a $1,000 reward for any information towards any suspects or whatnot that were vandalizing the park. Haven't gotten any word for that, but obviously maybe it did help because the volleyball's been up for about a month, a little over, going through a month, so that's beneficial. But obviously that information is still out there, so if anybody comes forward, we'd be very appreciative. But we'll see.
Excuse me. Your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Do you do the compliance, or do you guys have somebody in the company that goes out and does compliance?
I do compliance, but we also have a gentleman named Robbie that's been helping us out.
Drive around on Riggs Cooper and look from the outside in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, okay.
We think we did lose the last volleyball net because there was some vandalism to the lighting system, and the volleyball lights were on at night.
Yeah, I think I included that information on the email that went out. So at Emmett Park, the lights weren't coming on. We thought it was a burnt bulb. We had an electrician go out there, went in the system. We actually found out that somebody had gone in there and cut the wires. So we got that all taken care of. The lights are working now. Very unfortunate though. It's just unfortunate. So we are going to be taking precautions. I've talked to them about possibly putting some, rather than just a gate or a cover on the electrical poles, putting something that's a little more harder to get into, a locking type mechanism or something like that. Again, it's only going to help. If they want to get in, they're going to get in. But hopefully it can be enough of a detractor to get them not to do it. So. We want to finish this?
Okay. We've got a proposal here from CLC Painting.
Yeah, I went to CLC Painting. They gave us a proposal a little while ago for just miscellaneous items around the neighborhoods. Specifically, let me get to it. We've talked about this before, but backflow cages, shade structure poles, basketball poles, park benches, garbage cans, things like that, just to kind of get everything up with the new fresh coat of paint, and just make things a little bit nicer for you guys. So we originally had the mailboxes on there, but per the city of Chandler post office, we're not allowed to do that, so we took that off of there. So it did drop the price down a little bit for all the items that we have in here. It comes out to $3,981 to spruce it up. So I wanted to include that since we got the revisions on there and let you guys take a look at it.
Question.
Yes, sir.
We have the backflow cages to be painted. Are they going to paint the backflow valves themselves? The reason I asked that is that years ago, with the cost of price of copper and that sort of thing, we had them stolen. So they were painted purple so that if they took them to a scrap dealer, they'd know they were stolen.
Yeah.
So we're not going to repaint them back to a natural color, are we not?
On this proposal, I believe it's just the cages. I can request that they, when they're doing the job, that they do continue to do the purple color and ask them to include this, or do a separate proposal for just those.
Some of the deterrent things.
I have a question.
I'd like to ask that we go out and get another bid or two on this.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit high to me.
Yeah. They're taking this out.
Especially since we took all the mailboxes off the
Yeah.
off of this thing, it just seems a chance high.
Yeah, and I would recommend that we table this again, just based on that the view fencing still has not been painted.
The view fencing will start up the first of the year. I actually talked to Jeff yesterday at an industry luncheon, and that will start up after the first of the year.
We can wait till that makes the view fencing, and we can possibly talk about this.
Excuse me. Can you speak a little louder regarding the new fence?
Sure. So the board had previously approved the view fence painting for the community.
Correct.
That will start up after the first of the year with CLC painting.
Okay. Yeah, that's supposed to end, I believe it's last year, but it's already.
Yeah,
It's already 4 years. Every 4 years, it's supposed to do the view fence.
Is it in bad shape? I really just haven't.
Actually, I always maintain mine, and, but, even, I honestly say, you don't do it, I would do it, and, I care for my home, and, I care everything, but everything is, I mean, in general, it's good, it's good. Just some little area, but I always do myself.
I'd recommend that we put this on the January agenda after they start the defense meeting, and then it'll give us a chance to go get some more bids.
Yeah, I'll obtain 2 more for you guys, just with the specs here to get some numbers.
I just want to share a little bit of experience, and I just did my house outside the painting, and, I mean, all this painter, everything, it's really tricky. My house, and the people want to charge 6,500 to, between 6,500 to 3,000. So I got less than that. And, so I just make the story short. It's very tricky. And because I did a lot of things myself, so I do all the bid, everything myself. So I know what my professional job is not to do.
Thanks a lot.
Just watch out.
Okay.
All right, so we'll table that for next month. I'll obtain 2 more proposals for you guys, and go ahead and revisit that.
Let's move on to the Verizon lease review.
So I sent that over back to the association attorney. They went through it and they provided it back to me. And so we do have it. I gave it to you guys. I was thinking and kind of brainstorming about this. So I think it would be very beneficial to have representatives from Coal Creek who are kind of spearheading this project. They're the ones that came, I guess they came to the board and presented to you guys about this initially. I think it'd be very beneficial to have them, the association attorney, and possibly a representative, I'm hoping that they'll be here, from Verizon to come next month, so we can kind of have a town hall type meeting for all of us. I'm sure all you guys got the communication that we sent out from Beth Mulcahy, just regards to the whole proposed plan. You saw the site plan, where it's located. We did get a lot of feedback from the homeowners, which I've included for the board. But I just think it'd be good to have us all here. They can give you hard facts about environmental study and other things like that. I mean, I've requested, I haven't gotten a copy of it yet, but that's kind of what my thought process is. I don't know if you guys would be entertaining to that, if you think it would be beneficial at all. But I don't know.
How much feedback did you get?
We
We got about 35 responses.
we got 31 responses that were put in our board packet. 17 of the responses were yes. 4 of the responses were just concerned about where we were going to spend the money, and 10 of the responses were definitive no. Now, that all depends on, I don't know where these parcels are, where these people are located, if they're within the 600-foot limit. I can tell you that, we as a board recommended to the zoning commission that they postpone the hearing until January, because we didn't feel that there was enough information. Although the zoning commission wants us to have a town hall meeting, that was actually done on October the 5th. All the homeowners were notified, and the only person that showed up at the town hall meeting was me. So, Verizon is kind of questioning why we're dragging our feet, and we're kind of questioning,
Was that the meeting during the week?
It was a 6 p.m. meeting in downtown Chandler Community Center on October 5th. And every homeowner was notified about it, and I even posted it on Nextdoor, so. But all that aside, I think that Matt's right. I think we need to come to a solution that's gonna be amicable to all the homeowners. I mean, if we don't get it, we don't get it. If we do get it, we do get it. But let's all listen as a group of homeowners. We're also homeowners in this association. And I wanna hear all the pluses and the minuses before I make a decision. Mary Ellen?
Matt, when you do have a town hall like that idea very much, to have a conversation about it, I think you should bring representatives, not just from Verizon. They have a certain position, which I know and understand well. I think we should also have the other voice, experts who represent the
They
other voice.
were at the October 5th meeting.
I'm talking to Matt. who
I
are-
think
who
that's a
represent
great
at this
suggestion.
town hall that we would have here.
And I'm gonna try to get as many parties as I can involved, because obviously this is a big issue for the community.
Right.
And I wanna make sure that we have enough representatives there to be able to give you guys the answers that you're looking for. Unfortunately, I'm not a professional in that field.
I understand.
And
All I'm asking is that perhaps you reach out and get professionals to come.
yeah, and that's my game plan, so I just wanted to present that.
But from both sides, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just Verizon there is not representative, I think.
But my question is this, no matter what, then how about the people live within 600 feet, and so what to do with the people? And I mean, honestly, I paid a premium for that lot, and so now it's in my backyard. I mean,
Right.
all that neighbor always in the backyard. So I just cannot understand, as living Cooper Commons for 14 years, from the house brand new build. And I honestly say, we just said we want a peaceful and happy and healthy life, and I so far it's I honestly say it's good. And I think as a community we are a big family. I think we should not sacrifice anybody, nobody. We need to love each other. We need to help each other. We support each other. No sacrifice even one. That is what I believe.
And just as point of information, there is currently a 52-foot tower on that property. I don't know if anybody's aware of it, but it's a police and fire tower.
It's on
And
our
although
property.
it's not a monopalm, it's a 54-foot tower.
I understand. But you see,
Just-
actually, honestly, I'm the Microsoft certified system engineer. And I know all this computer, high-tech, everything. But I honestly say we all touch it.
We agree with
We
you.
all explore it.
We
And,
agree.
We all, Wi-Fi, everything, we explored it in a certain degree. But my point is, we should not have more.
We agree.
Especially for our next
We
generation.
attempted to
I'm
have-
old, but we need to think about
We
the other
agree.
place for
We
the
had
young
no homeowner
generation.
participation in
We
October. so we're
attempted
gonna
to have
try
a town
do it again.
meeting, we're gonna attempt to have another one. Just hasn't been through the zoning commission, it hasn't been through the city council. Nothing is cast in concrete here at all, folks. These are great comments, bring them to the next town meeting, okay?
Appreciate it. I will.
All right,
Could I-
let's move on.
When is
Could I-
the next
Move
town
on,
meeting?
okay?
When?
Yes.
I know when. When's the next town meeting?
So,
January 20th.
yeah, the zoning and planning, the meeting,
Thank you, but I think I did receive this 14.
you did, and it was originally scheduled for yesterday evening.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it got postponed out to January 20th. So
Thank
that's the zoning and planning,
Okay.
and that's down in the,
City Hall.
City Hall downtown Chandler.
So it has been
It has been,
rescheduled?
yeah, January 20th.
So when's the town hall meeting here?
That's what I'm trying to schedule for next
The
week,
HOA
which
will
would be the
instigate
27th.
27th.
It's not Chandler. Hey, Matt, who's Cold Creek?
They're the people that represent Verizon.
Okay, so that's Verizon's representative.
Yep.
Okay, are they engineers or what?
I believe they're
Just consultants?
they're architects and planners that
Okay, very good.
help Verizon.
Just trying to get,
together.
understand who all the players are.
Yeah. I'd like to, my name's Eric Thompson. I'm also, I back up against the park. And one of our primary concerns that I think affects more than just the people on the park are the devaluation of properties within the 1 mile radius of a tower. And so I would like to request perhaps we have some representation from the real estate profession about the impact on values, so that we could have some real information instead of just, everyone's opinion.
Typing it in as you're saying it.
Okay.
You got something real quick?
Yeah, hi. My name is Keith Smith, and I'm a property owner here in Cooper Commons. And I'd like to thank Matthew, who's been helping me gather some information. Two things. I have a statement to make, but first, you're talking about having another HOA meeting on the 27th,
Yes, that's,
but the city's going to meet on the 20th. to do the
zoning and
the
planning.
zoning. Now, it seems to me you've got your cart before your horse.
Yeah.
We need to decide whether we're going to do this or not before we even do any rezoning, right? Now, that brings me into my other
Still
part.
has to go through the city council.
Say again?
Still has to go through the city council.
Yeah, but why would
That's
we go to
not
the
till
city
February.
council if we're not even sure we're going to do this?
Well, we don't,
It's not us going.
it's not up to us, it's up to the.
So why
zoning
did you even do
commission and
this?
The city council.
Why are you rushing this through? I just became aware of this when you sent out the letter on around the 22nd of November. And I'm pretty in tune. And what you said that nobody showed up, well, that's kind of prima facie evidence that nobody got the message. I didn't.
I did not.
I'm a pretty alert guy.
Are you on next door?
Say again?
We sent out what?
Next door is
I
not
can't hear you.
an official way to notify anybody.
Everybody, we had an email.
Okay, so I have a statement if I can
We
make one.
understand- We understand your point. We are not responsible for making that decision at this point. This has to go through planning and zoning and pass city council before it will even come to the
Okay.
HOA board for approval.
Okay, I'm not going to argue the point. My point is just this. We're moving too fast, but let me make a statement here. Okay, Matthew was nice enough to answer this question I've been asking for probably 2.5 weeks. What gives you the authority to even make this decision? And here's here's the information that Matthew sent to me, and I believe this came from the attorney, right?
This
Beth?
is from the CCNRs, but I told you that I have to
Okay.
confirm to make sure that's the accurate.
Okay, so here's what Matthew sent me. It's Article 3, Section 3.1, and it's titled Easement of Enjoyment. Easement, let's keep that in mind. Okay, and he said that we need to go down to subsection 3. Now I'm going to read this. The right of the association to dedicate or transfer all or any part of the common areas to any public agency, authority, or utility company for such purposes and subject to such conditions as may be agreed to by the association, unless otherwise required by zoning stipulation or agreement with the city of Chandler, effective prior to the date hereof, or specified on a recorded subdivision plat. No such dedication or transfer shall be effective unless approved by owners representing at least 75% of the votes entitled to be cast by each class of membership. Now it goes a little bit further, and I think this is maybe where you think you're getting the authority, but I don't believe this gives you the authority. Except that the board shall have authority to transfer to such public agencies, authorities, or utility companies easement and right-of-way which are intended to benefit Cooper Commons and which do not have any substantial adverse effects on the enjoyment of the common area by members. 2 points here. This is talking about easements. If you read the contract, it says this is a lease agreement. This does not say anything that makes me believe that you have the authority to make a lease agreement with anybody. That is my and my other 1,629 property owners in this association. That's our authority, right? That's what this says. Okay?
Well, again, like I said in the email that I sent you, that's what I believe to be the section that you were referring to. But that's why I reached out to Beth to make sure that getting the actual stuff to you, the accurate stuff. So
I've reached out to Beth too, and she won't respond to me.
He's not obligated, so.
she's not.
Well, and see, that's the problem. She's not obligated to respond to me?
She's not
She only
even
works for the
supposed
board.
to.
Okay, so we have a problem here then.
She represents.
I've been asking since I think the 2nd of December, for what gives you the authority to make this kind of agreement, and nobody can tell me, nobody will tell me. All I've gotten so far is what Matt was nice enough to do. And I'm not going to fault Matt because I think he's
We
trying.
can get one from Beth. Okay?
I'd like
As soon as
it,
Matt
so you don't have any
gets
memorandum right now that says that you have authority to do this? Are you telling me that you're making a decision without having a memorandum from an attorney?
We've made no
There
decisions.
are no
But,
decisions.
you've gone to the city and asked for them to,
We're gonna get an answer from our attorney. And that's all I can tell you right now.
Well, you
We
should have
can
done that
argue
8
this
months
for-
ago.
For the next 3 hours. This
But you
isn't
should
gonna
have done
make
that
a
8 months
difference.
ago, do you agree?
Okay? We've been screwing around with this for 9 months.
That's my point right there.
And we
You
don't
just
have
made
all
my
the
point.
answers either.
You don't even have anything in
Okay.
writing that says that you have the authority to do this.
And we haven't.
That's my point.
Says we can't either.
Then why do we have a lease all ready to go?
Okay, moving on, moving on. Moving on.
Excuse me, excuse me.
Okay, new business.
I'm confused about. Excuse me.
Let's go on to the environmental center.
Excuse me, this
Facility
is the
rental
most
guy.
important.
We're done. We're done talking about this, okay? This is
not
it.
finished.
If you don't like it, it's too bad.
Gary, why don't you
We're
read
gonna
the
find
statute
out what we
posted
can find out.
right here under the
We'll
open
get the
section
information
that
to
says
you
each
as soon
homeowner
as
has
we
2
can.
minutes for
And that's the end of it.
pursuant
Well, what-
to
We'll-
statute.
we'll-
What's the point of the town hall? Is
Please,
that,
please.
what's the
It's
point of the
stated
town hall?
right here on top of the agenda. You're not giving each homeowner 2 minutes with their concerns.
Guys, that's why we do have the homeowner form at the end. We do have some other
Talk
business
about it
conduct.
then.
I know that is such a hot pressing issue for you guys. I understand it. I'm trying to help you guys. That's why I'm trying to get this meeting next month with all these representatives to happen.
After the zoning meeting.
Yeah, that's what I don't, if we don't have the information, how could we go to the zoning meeting with an open mind? That's what I'm confused about, why our meeting would be after it. Because I don't know how I feel one way or the other, and I won't know until our next homeowner meeting. But this doesn't
understand
give
that.
me the opportunity to go to the town meeting with all the information I need.
Again, the board would have to give us the direction to schedule another meeting.
You may want to understand what this community can do if we are riled up,
I,
because it's happened before.
I'm trying to help.
I don't know if we can do one.
I understand you guys are very, very passionate about this. I get it. So if we have the meeting before the zoning and planning meeting, we'll get the communication out to you guys and we'll get all the representatives here. I'll try my hardest to get whoever I can. But if it can't happen, we'll have it on the 27th. That's the next scheduled board meeting and we'll have those representatives there. So again,
That doesn't give us the opportunity to go to the town meeting with all the information we need. It just doesn't make sense. Am I missing something?
I doubt we'll be there. Okay,
Are we asking them to?
we'll see what we can get together before the 20th. I don't know if we can get anything together by then, okay? With the holidays.
No, are we
I don't
asking?
know.
Gary, can I make a comment? It's not really about
If they will lease on it?
Right.
I mean, if we have a meeting,
It's about the
we
attorney.
don't need to lease on it.
Okay, let's move on to the homeowner feedback from the Mulcahy letter, which we've already kind of discussed. Anybody else have anything about that?
you guys have any comments on this?
All right. We went out and we got a proposal from the environmental center.
Yeah, I went over into the environmental facility, got the proposal for you, or not the proposal, but the brochure. It had been brought up that we might possibly want to move the location over there. It's a nicer facility, you know, might be able to utilize a little bit more time frame for it. So included that in the packet for you guys. Currently, right now, we're paying about $25 an hour for this facility. The environmental facility has 4 separate rooms ranging from anywhere from 20 people up to 50 and beyond. And their hours range from $20 an hour up to $30 for a Chandler nonprofit. That was what we would be. So I wanted to present it to you guys so you guys can have a little discussion about what you would want to do, if you want to keep the meetings here or if you would like to move them.
I think we should keep the meetings
Well,
here,
here's
it's
the problem
close
I
in the
have
neighborhood.
with the unions.
When people have to drive
We
somewhere,
fought for
they
years
don't
to
go.
get the meetings back here instead of the airport. You know, I mean,
It's free at the airport, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do we pay for this facility?
$25 an hour.
Really?
The advantage over there
It goes
is
to
it's
school.
set up
It
classroom
is
style, we don't have to.
We wouldn't have to be doing this.
Don't have to do
That's
this.
the game.
And if we look at just the jackrabbit room, for classroom style holds 24, then there's definitely 4 people here. It's $20 an hour, so 2 hours costs us 40, cheaper than here.
Yeah.
But the money goes to the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's in the
anyway,
community
you know,
of Cooper
They're
Commons.
working for Cooper Commons.
Excuse me?
I say, it is money does go to the school, but we are working with Cooper Commons. so
And we're
we can save
residents of
money.
Cooper Commons, that all the kids at the school.
It's a benefit
in
to the
Cooper Commons.
community.
I think the convenience
Only
is
$10.
worth keeping it here. There's more of an attendance here. I went to the ones at the airport, and there weren't very many people showing up, because it's out of the community, it's after dinner, you know, like you think, oh, I don't remember it, but I think this is a good location.
And it's $5 more. Really? Plant a few less shrubs. Save some money there.
Okay, well,
15 years ago, they used to be here. And then we started Sunbird, and we went to Solera, and then we went to the airport. And then we got them back here, and I like the idea of it being
It's
here
only,
myself.
it's only 2 miles from Dover and Briggs
But
to this facility.
We also have to remember when we were here before, we had to sit at the little tables, lunch tables, and we couldn't sit there. So that didn't work either.
Yeah, well, you know, what we can do is we can just set this off for next month.
We can, let's table it, huh?
Let's just table it for next month, but that's kind of our thinking.
You're kicking it down the road.
Okay, Matt, you got some information from these companies here for, motion sensors?
yeah, so I reached out to 3 companies for installation of a motion sensor light, which would be, it would attach to the volleyball pole that we already have out there. So it'd just be an addition. The contractor that installed the lights out there in the first place, Nickel Contracting they quoted us to install a light that has a hood on it, so it will deter from shining into neighboring properties, homes and stuff like that. The fixture and installation would come out to $650. I did get another quote from RN Electric. He wrote me and said that they're looking at $545 for the scope of work. And then the last company, which is Spence Electric, theirs was a lot. Theirs came out to $1,200. So, so that's what we're looking at. So if we want to,
Is that just for one light? And I'm assuming the purpose is to
help deter.
help deter whoever's taking the nets?
Yes.
Well, I don't either. I don't want to spend any more money on the lights that you're
So,
going to annoy your residents in the area.
Again, Matthew, how you gonna, throughout the night, how are the lights gonna come off? There's gonna be some motion out there, right? Throughout the night.
Potentially, yeah.
So they figure out that they can be out there, the light will stay on, so they'll play volleyball throughout the night. So how are you gonna keep them out of the park at night?
The patrol service.
Well, the patrol service is not 7 days a week, and
It
they
is.
only work
It is,
6
it
months.
is now.
Have you moved it now?
Yep.
Okay?
So
Again, but he can't stay there all throughout the night. He's
No,
gonna move on
he
to-
can't.
Right?
again,
So-
it's
I know what you're trying to do, but motion lights stay on, the human beings will figure it out, and they'll stay there and have activity. Because they're not gonna realize that it's trying to deter taking the net. They're just saying, another light, we gotta be out there.
I think that park is not intended for night use either, so.
It's
I'm
not a night park.
I'm not happy about having lights out there at night either.
Put all the surveillance equipment in there you want, no
Yeah.
more lights.
Motion? Make a motion that we do not put up the lights for the volleyball nets, that we continue with what we currently have.
And we're in favor of
Second.
surveillance lights
Second.
because of all the
Second.
illegal activity that happens out there.
Carol seconded. You want to vote?
And,
Why don't you let the president run the meeting?
okay, so we got a motion on the floor not to accept
Got a
this.
second.
Do you have a second?
Any other
All-
comments?
Any more comments?
So we're gonna leave basically as is. Are we
As
gonna put
is.
any kind of,
No more lights.
yeah.
Other surveillance.
But there's other
It's a-
things other than lights.
It's a day use facility. Yeah, we'll have the net and all that other stuff up there, but we're not gonna put more lights in and motion sensors and cameras and, you know, everything else.
You have any kids around?
That park's available until 10 or 9 or something,
Until
right?
10, yeah.
And so there'll be no lights even after dark?
Well,
Till
other
10.
than what's already
Till
there.
10.
Okay, all right, you said no lights at all, so I wanted to.
What's currently there?
What's there is staying there and we're not gonna add more. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, vote carries 3-1. Okay, this surveillance system, there's probably no point in talking about that.
Well, I'll just give you a little update. I met with Brent from BSN on site in regards to possibly putting up a surveillance camera in the area. What would happen is they would have to install a pole, put it on the pole so it's high enough, obviously, so that anybody coming through can't cover it or, do some damage to it whatsoever. But the way that they have it positioned in this proposal would be that you would have a full kind of 180 degree looking at towards Amanda all the way down to the walking path towards Emmett Park down. You would have to have obviously a backup little area for the camera to record the video and things like that. So I really wanted Brent to be here this evening to give you guys a little presentation and give you some more things. But he is going to come next month, so if you guys want to table it until next month to get more information from Brent, then we'll do that. Well, that was what it was.
All right. So, I'm gonna, make a motion that we just decline this RFP. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
For the
For the surveillance system, it's monitoring and all this other happy good
Gary,
stuff.
what's the cost of that?
Oh, geez, it's somewhere around $5,000 plus monitoring and.
Yeah, because we visited that years ago, right, and the cost was, but
And for a $36 volleyball,
I have
net,
cameras.
it's not really
I have
worth it.
cameras.
Buy a lot of nets for $5,000.
For that kind of money, we could replace nets.
Forever.
For $36, I mean, we buy a lot of nets for this.
All right, let's move along.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, carries. Okay, want to talk about the Procol Monument landscape recommendations? I personally don't think, I don't think this is much from what we're getting. We're going to change our irrigation system to those and put in some flower beds and update us. That's
And
gonna,
a 2-year warranty.
and a 2-year warranty.
And if anything dies, they take care of it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're talking somewhere around 8,000 to 9,000.
$10,000.
Were there minutes back there too, or is it just the
I
agenda?
move we go with the proposal.
Are there minutes?
And you got a seconder? Okay.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. Do you have any comments regarding the monument enhancement proposal from Procol?
Yes, how come you're not going to RFQ?
Request for proposals or quotes?
Well, they're a brand new handy-dandy landscaping company.
Yeah, but boy, the last board got pounded on by
I know it.
some people on this board.
Do you
for
think this
not
is out of
going-
line?
I don't know. I think you need to get a quote.
I think where you got pounded on, Mary Ellen, was the cost of doing a rendition drawings for the proposal, which were the same cost as what we have for actually doing the work, so.
Water under the bridge, you should be getting quotes.
All right, well,
We're doing RFQ.
we'll, Matt, go out and get some more quotes and we'll table this to next month. Perfect.
What is the cost of the current quote?
8,000 to 9,000 or so
$10,000.
for 6 monuments,
Putting in new sprinklers.
new plants, new irrigation.
Well, and realize that if you have another landscaper putting in plants, they're not gonna warranty them and
Nope.
stuff, so.
Nope, yeah, we know that.
So that makes no sense. And if they die, that doesn't wanna say too bad.
Make a motion now.
That doesn't make any sense to have another I know.
We'll get 2 more bids. Realize they're gonna look like they look for the next month or 2.
Well, profile may not, a good landscaper usually will not have another landscaper come in and do
That's true
the
too.
irrigation work. Because then you're gonna get finger pointing at just usually doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I say we just.
Gary, let everybody know is that when we went through the so-called design proposals for the monuments, that was actually renovating, changing the look of the structures themselves. This proposal is plant material, so it's not apples to apples.
That's true.
So just so everybody is aware of that.
Yep, agreed. Some people don't like to deal with everything that's on the up and up. So I understand that that would be reasonable to have the same landscaping committee, you know, or group do it. And last year, when we said we would do some upgrades to the landscaping, people on this board said, oh, you have to go out for RFQ. So why is the policy changed now that you're on the board?
We did get a proposal from AAA for the sprinkler repair, and we did get a proposal from AAA for renovating the plants within the community. I'm sure that you have it at home, Mary Ellen, I have it at home if you'd like to see it. We did get a renovation proposal from AAA for the sprinklers and for
Yes, that was
plant
for
material.
a big,
And rock.
And rock.
that was for a big, huge, entire community. This is very specific, which is nice, to have it just for the monument areas. Again, apples and oranges.
$10,000 for renovation, for drawings, for renditions. that we paid
Oh,
for.
I think you're always gonna get a question as to whether you're getting a good price. You only get one quote, so it just seems like good practice to always get 2 or 3 quotes.
I will.
And I'm an architect, so I know what it's like to take the low bid and regret it. So I don't always recommend the low bid, but if you get 3 bids, then that, and you get to look at the relative value, you know, maybe we decide to pay extra
Negotiating.
for our guys, but
So-
then
What's
you're
our architect
going
I
in
will,
with your eyes open.
what's
I do healthcare.
Yep, you have to filter in the hassle factor.
Healthcare
You have to-
architect.
Who's gonna maintain it, which is
Good.
very important.
So I will, I'll obtain 2 other proposals from companies and have those for you guys next week.
We did not get any information on the upgrade.
No, that was,
Oh, but it was,
yeah, for those specific areas.
all right.
One thing that I would think that we need to put in our next newsletter, and I picked it up in reports coming in from the homeowners, we need to make clear that the internal walls are homeowners' responsibilities, not the town walls. We need to get that clear.
We got anything on the action items?
Yeah, so with the action item list, obviously, I'm going to obtain a couple more proposals in regards to the miscellaneous common area paints.
And,
Yeah, I'll do it as well. We'll go out and get additional monument landscape proposals. I will have the Emmett Park bench information for you guys next month. Again, I'll include the environmental facility, possible moving of the meeting. And then obviously I'll work on getting all the representatives here and things like that.
Matt, we have a road trip hazard, Rico and Amanda, north side, almost at the corner, right by a tree. It's up about that far.
I'll let you know that.
Well, it might be a city.
Could be.
I think
Yeah.
it's a city.
Is it up? Okay. Okay, anything with the newsletter? When's that gonna be out?
So the newsletter is pretty much already done, but this one will be, I can do it for an e-blast to the community. So obviously I'll include the internal wall information that Larry just brought up. What other suggestions you guys have?
Get all the meeting dates on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Any garage sales or anything that's coming up?
You guys just had a garage sale, so the next one would be semi-annual.
We're gonna do like something in the park again in the spring, like fling, spring fling. We should probably get that on the calendar again, so that.
Yeah, we did on, in the A-frames. The two missing A-frames.
Two?
We got two of them going on. Yeah.
Two.
Three.
But, I mean, with the A-frames, you guys have those custom inserts, so if you guys end up moving the community board, the board meetings to another facility, then we'll have to go out.
Let me give you a suggestion on the A-frames, so they don't get stolen. Years ago, we used to have our US flags stolen. We stenciled Cooper Commons on them. We might want to
okay.
sue Cooper Commons.
That's good.
Yeah, don't even put them behind, put it
Just
right
put
on
on
the
the
side.
side, yeah.
Stencil it right on
The
it.
frame, right in the frame.
Okay. Good suggestion, Larry. Gary?
Not on the agenda, we need to make a decision on these CDs.
We've done that.
We
Yeah,
we're fine.
I think we may as well just wait.
I think we go to cash on them, and then we have 3 more CDs that are coming due maybe or next year, and we can put them all together.
Go to cash,
Go to
and
cash.
make sure they're not over,
The best rate on here for a year is 0.40, which, well, it's better than 0.25, 0.025, which we get before for 2 years. So
Yeah, I'm not any big.
Yeah, those have to go into accounts though, man, so that they're covered by FDIC.
Just to give you guys an idea what we're talking about, so we have some CDs that are coming in maturity on the 24th of this month. So the information has been given to the board. They're currently talking about removing the CDs and just bringing them out to cash, look around, shop to find the best rate, so that way we can reapply it. So that's currently what they're talking about right now, just CDs. So,
Since the Fed just raised interest rates, it's likely that interest rates on CDs will go up next year. So
do you want to make a motion?
make a motion that we go to cash on the CDs, that we make sure that they're in accounts that are less than 250 because of the FDIC.
Yep. No second. Harold,
You guys have any comments?
Yeah, where are you gonna put the money?
Let's see.
Mattress.
There are,
got, what, 2 or 3 of them?
There's 3 of them.
Well, they said they're gonna put them in
You're
cash,
with
which
the
means they're gonna put them in the
ICS
bank, while they look for the next investment.
For
What-
250
the accounts are
what bank are we gonna
How much
put
money is it?
cash?
101613.
Matt, what bank do we move to?
All the other accounts.
Where-
They don't have any benefit.
No, I know, but we gotta,
How much
we
cash
know what
we
we're
have?
moving to.
The issue, Mary Ellen, is that our accounts were in bank accounts that were not FDIC because they were limited of $200,000. So what we've done is we've broken up all of the accounts and made individual accounts again.
Yes, so how much cash is there gonna be? from these
135,
CDs, and where will it go?
Right now in cash, we have 823,000 and we have about
Are you looking on the balance
380,000 in
sheet?
CDs.
No, I'm looking at the information that was given to me.
I'm
by
sorry?
Stephanie.
Oh, you don't put it.
Too many
Oh.
conversations.
Oh, so they already gave you the recommendation, oh, okay. Okay.
We're gonna probably put it in the bank where all of our other accounts are, because there's no financial benefit for us to seek out another bank at this point. The financial benefit is that when we go to buy the CDs, if we get the best rate, that likely won't be at the bank where our current accounts are at. Our CDs are held in 2 different institutions, Mutual of Omaha, what's the other one, Larry?
Alliance.
2 different.
Alliance.
Alliance.
Are they telling you to put them in ICS accounts? Is that what they're telling you that to do?
Their suggestion would deposit them into ICS
Yeah,
accounts.
so those are like cedar accounts, except for they allow you withdrawals.
Right.
Yeah.
Already open with Alliance.
Yeah.
Right, but keep them under the 250.
Well, though, if you put them in ICS accounts, they're like cedar, so you can go over the limit.
Are they insured?
Yep. That's the whole intention of them. Okay. Yeah.
That would like stay in Alliance then?
For a
Yeah.
while?
Yes.
Of course, that's what I want.
Open forum.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so, okay, homeowner forms so I know you guys had questions earlier.
Okay, first of all, when you send out emails, et cetera, do you do it only to one person in a household? Or do you do it to whoever lives there that you have email lists for?
I believe it goes to all accounts that we have emails for.
Yeah, whoever's registered.
And if people are registered and they're not getting emails, then why would that be?
You just come check with us and we'll just make sure they're right.
All right, so that's the first question. Second, there's a new homeowner who just has recently purchased a home in our neighborhood, and they have 5 cars and trucks in their driveway, one of whom is now taken to parking right by the mailbox across from Dave's house. What are you doing about it?
So with the parking patrol, they would be citing those cars during my compliance period that I do. It's not overnight street parking, so unless they're parking on gravel or...
Well, they're not. They've been parking in the street, and in particular, they're parking right in front of the mailbox, so nobody can go easily
If you
get their mail.
want to give me the property address, I can report
Dave's
it.
got it, it's his
Okay.
neighbor.
That's fine. Then I'll report it to the patrol company, so that way they can flag it when they're doing the patrols at night.
And thank you. The last thing I want to say is in respect to the attorney, I just want to make it clear to everybody in here that we are not allowed to contact the attorney. If we do, if the attorney would take our call, which in fact she will not and is instructed not to, we would have to, the homeowners association would have to pay for that time and that call. So the attorney only has contact with the management team or the board if they decide they're gonna have that. So please don't blame the board or the management company for the fact that you're not getting direct contact with the attorney. You should not be. That is really the way it works, and it's the way it needs to work. So I may disagree with certain things, but that is really the case, and I just want that to be clear. I realize that maybe coming from the board, you might be frustrated or think that there's something not true, but in fact, that is the case. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. I understand you didn't want me to speak up.
The process, if we need a legal opinion, would be to request it at a meeting like this, and then you would come back with the answer. Is that-
The other thing, the other recourse you have is, and I've done this in the past, is to get your own attorney. Not particularly, this was not about the board, but about the group home issue. So you can get your own attorney and seek counsel from them, and of course you'll pay for it. Okay.
Did you just say that the board is gonna pay for an attorney if I contract with an attorney?
No, you will of course pay for the
Okay.
attorney
There-
if you.
there- I think there's one option you're not bringing up, though. If we feel there's an impropriety or we're not getting the information we need, we can always contact the state attorney general and ask them to open an investigation and find out what's going on.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think, I'm just letting you know that contacting Beth Mulcahy directly, you know, that's not really permitted, it's really it's a
Yeah,
reasonable.
and you know what,
reasonable
I'd like to take 20 seconds to address that. The reason I did that is because I'm not getting any information. Nobody can tell me hardly anything about what's going on with the cell tower. I've gotten like, Matt's given me a couple of things, so I contacted the city, and then I started looking for the attorney, and I found her email on her website. I contacted the city contacted her, and she promised to call me, and she didn't. And she won't even reply to my email. I got an email from her assistant saying that she would respond, but she didn't. So, you know, I apologize if I've overstepped my boundaries here, but, you know, again, I'm trying to find out what's going on, and I'm not getting any information. I'd really like to see in writing how she is telling you have the authority to do this, so I can understand. And if you have the authority, by all means, then we'll go to the next question.
Keith, and we actually did find a legal opinion that was issued on August 24th, so I do have that information.
But it might be.
Okay, so-
Which you
so-
can't look at, it might be privileged.
Well, yeah, he can't see the letter, but we can tell you the section of the documents where she's giving the authority.
Well, wait a minute, now I'm confused, really, seriously, because I've gotten several emails with you, and you said, and we talked on the phone, and you said you didn't have that
It's
information.
because I just found it from the previous management company.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was issued to Jomar, and I just found it.
Can I get a copy of
No,
that?
it's no.
Why
it's
can't I,
attorney-
this is my homeowners
It's
association.
attorney-client privilege, and we do not release that. to
Wait a minute,
homeowners.
there's a secret deal going on here?
You gotta understand, Keith, the HOA attorney, she only works for the board. So
Okay,
her communication is only between her and the board.
right.
We're, as a body, not privileged to her correspondence to the board.
Okay,
But we
so,
elected the board. So
I
they should
get
be
that.
working for us.
No,
So
it
basically-
doesn't work that way.
basically what I'm hearing here.
That's how you feel, but it doesn't work that way.
What I'm hearing here then is you're invoking client-attorney privilege. Is that what's happening?
Because the HOA attorney works for the board, not the
Right,
HOA
right, but why
body.
can't the HOA give me a copy of that memorandum?
They can't by law.
Why? What
They
law?
protect it.
They can tell you what's in it, they're not gonna lie about it.
Exactly.
I don't
That's
know,
why you have a
like
town-
I know,
attorneys
I
don't
know, I
lie?
understand, but
She's
But Keith,
representing.
Keith,
They're
that's
not
why they
gonna-
want to have a
they're not
town
gonna
hall and let the
hide
HOA
information.
attorney speak on
She
their
is.
behalf.
Holy moly, okay.
There's mechanisms that are protected.
Yeah, but it,
I know, I hear you.
I'm totally confused by this kind of stuff because it would be so simple to just give me the memorandum and then I can go look at the CC&Rs or whatever they say gives you the authority. But now I'm saying now I'm hearing that it's privileged, and what law says that they
State
can't disclose
statute.
it?
State statute.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any idea what state statute that is?
Don't have the number,
do
but
that.
it's all in there.
Board.
It's
If it's
chapter
okay,
35.
we'll
It's
have that
lengthy
right,
and.
Holy
that it's
moly.
okay to release to the homeowners. They cannot have this letter, but we'll have Beth write something that is okay to release to the homeowners.
Opinion, yeah.
It won't be an opinion letter, but it will be a letter that is okay to release to the homeowners stating that she has advised the board that they are able to do what they are doing because she is representing the board through this whole process and has represented the board through this whole process. We will do that if that is okay with the board.
And why?
I'm sorry?
And why she advises.
Yes, right.
And if you don't like it, you can challenge it.
shouldn't be a problem, should it?
And then the
We
judge
do that all the time.
makes the
That's
final
right.
decision.
And then that should be, that
be fair to
should
spend
satisfy
some
what you're asking.
Yeah, I've just been asking for what the authority is, that's all.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that.
So can we just get a motion on that? Do you guys mind taking a motion on that?
I move that we have
Just
our
make the action items listed.
give the homeowners an opinion as to our ability as a board to enact this cell tower lease.
Well, I guess that's the real question, is as a board, are you going to okay the lease?
We don't know yet.
And do we have any say in it? As homeowners, do we have any say? No, so then,
No,
You have say at the, you have to say at planning and zoning, and you have to say at city council. I definitely recommend that you go down there and voice your opinion, because they will listen to you.
but why wouldn't the
This will
HOA
not
board
listen
just
to you.
do
The city
send
will
out a
listen to you.
questionnaire, find out how many people want it, how many don't,
They
and then make your decision?
They did. About 35 people out of 16.
That don't want it?
No, that responded.
It was in the
Okay, how many
newsletter.
didn't want it?
What was the,
Out of 1,600, 35 responded.
Yeah, the majority.
They care. They've been working on this for almost a year. People don't care.
Well, there's a few more people that do care, so
But the-
we'd like to know now, so.
The mayor disagreed with that. The mayor said that there's a strong presence of disagreement. In my email, would you like to see it?
I mean, people, that'd be great. They would respond.
From what we saw, the majority was in favor of it.
the majority was like 60 responses. There's
That's
like,
all
what,
I'm saying.
1,500
Majority
homes?
was, that's all I'm saying.
1,640 homeowners, and we have 20 people on the group, so.
But that was, you said you're fine with these numbers, the last time I talked to you, so that's a whole separate issue.
I'm sorry?
You said you're fine with just 20
Yeah,
shelters.
we are.
Yeah,
We're-
okay, well, that's a different issue. I'm talking about the 50
But I guess,
homes.
well, from a
And
homeowner's
60
point
people
of
that
view,
responded
though,
is not
from your
probably
point of view,
representative.
don't you guys
And
care
so
about the
60, I'd like to know what
property
those
and your
people-
care?
We have one
So,
person
Alright.
talk.
wouldn't
Okay,
that
we're getting-
enter
we're getting
into your
to-
Yeah,
decision?
can we
Two
just have one
people
person
talking,
talk?
so let's
Sorry.
bring this down to one comment at a time, please.
I think we need to talk more directly to the people that are within the 600 feet area because it's going to impact them more. It's going to impact their property values. They have more concerns and frankly, their opinion should carry more weight.
They're vested.
The people within 600 feet have been notified 3 times in writing. They've had an opportunity to come to an open town hall. They've had an opportunity to speak out and come to our board meetings. The last 6 months.
And I know a lot of them have
And
reached
some
out
of
to
them
the
are
city.
here.
A lot of them have reached out to the
Excuse
city
me.
directly.
Lecture us.
No, I don't want to talk to you, Dave, I don't want to
Okay,
talk to
you
you.
don't have
A
to
lot of
talk
them
to
have
me.
reached out to
Quit
the
lecturing
city.
us, Dave.
Yeah.
Quit it.
Do we have another comment?
You said that homeowners were notified 3 times? You said homeowners were
I'm sorry?
notified 3 times? 3 times homeowners?
3 times.
Because I
3
got
letters.
one letter from the attorney, the last one that came, that was the only one I got.
Yeah, I got one.
That's the same
I got one.
way.
Are you within 600 feet?
I think you're talking about like the HOA meetings where they addressed it, or where they brought
Are
it
you
up.
within 600
Discussion.
feet?
So if you weren't here, you would.
Ever since these guys took over, I've gotten nothing.
Or
Are
just,
you within 600
John
feet?
yeah,
gets
I'm asking you all.
May I ask a question?
Make sure you come visit with
You know how
us.
that gets me.
Can I ask a question? What's the magic about the 600-foot number? I apologize, I'm kind of coming into this late,
By the
but,
Federal Communications Commission.
okay, so that's the required notification.
We'll make sure we have your contact information. You should.
So, Matthew, to follow up on my offer last month on City of Chandler Parks and Recs, new volleyball court lighted at La Paloma Park.
Yeah, I reached out to the City of Chandler Parks and Rec.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, we put that request in for 2016 to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue, I haven't heard back from Parks and Rec, but
No,
I did reach out, but.
You're talking to Parks and Rec. So talking to Mickey, who's the director of Parks and Rec, so we put the request in and we'll go through the process with the board and then recommendation to the council, so. And a lot of help from Gary. Gary had to spearhead it.
I want to talk about the volleyball pit. We have in our community approximately 2,500 children. So if you say that Rico is dividing line between north and south, there's over 1,200 kids north of Rico. Do you think the homeowners would like their children to go all the way to La Paloma Park? They don't like them to go to Emmett Park, let alone another probably half mile. My opinion is that volleyball net needs to stay where it is for the kids and families that live in the north part of our community. It is too damn far to go for kids. There's one homeowner that has a real problem with that park.
Well, Gary, should we rehash this again?
We can.
It was approved as a day park, and you and your other board members changed it
It
into
was
a night
legally-
park and didn't follow the CC&R rules. And I have a letter from the attorney at the time said, well, we put up the lights for safety. Well, tell me where the lights for the courts are as safety lights. You changed the use of the park from a day to a night park, and you impacted all the neighbors there with parking in the cul-de-sac,
You're the only one
the
that has
noise
a
at
problem,
night.
Bob.
Okay? So we're trying to work with you and not putting more lights in there, but if more lights ever go in there, we're gonna fight the battle and change it back to a day park so the whole community doesn't get it as a day or a night
Then
park.
we'll get the whole northern part of this community to work against you.
Okay? And it should have went, and again, these people are fighting the battle for the tower. You need to read the CC&Rs. Anytime that you change the usage of a common area, it has to go out to a vote to the body. They skirted around it and said it was safety lights instead of changing the use of the park. And we're stuck with it, with all the other homeowners.
We had a
on the
legal
park.
opinion that we were okay with it at that time. We
So-
didn't do it on our own.
So you can make that comment. We'll rehash this again.
We sure will, huh? We sure will.
And you don't live next to the park and you're impacted by it.
Yeah. Three houses away.
Neighbors, young neighbors, they have 4 dogs, 2 cats, they always keep around, and the dog always come and, yeah, to food and every day. And I have the phone, so I
Just
don't know what.
talk to me after. Once we adjourn, I'll meet with you.
I'm hoping they didn't.
And we have a second. All those in favor? All right.
All right, guys, thank you for